All right. This is Michael.
This is Tristan.
And this is the Weeabuds podcast. Did you have a good Christmas, Tristan?
Yeah, I thought it was all right. I'm very lethargic. I have 2 weeks off. I haven't had weeks off and I'm kind of low energy, being all honest.
You're just like, you still have another week, right? Before you have to head back in?
Yeah, a little less than a week, but it's kind of, I'm glad I'm taking it.
I hear that. I had a 3-day weekend myself. That was pretty nice. So, have you watched any anime at all?
Well, besides what we watched last time I was at your place, we watched the Fully Cooley, the second gig. No, it's
the alternative. We watched. We finished
Progressive.
Fully Cooley alternative.
We finished Progressive.
I can't get them straight.
Yeah.
It's Progressive. That's
Alternative is like, the way I think of it is it's like the remix edition, and so it comes after because it's like alternative to Progressive.
I think they're like named after rock genres.
Absolutely.
So you have like alternative rock and progressive rock.
But I like to think of it as like alternative is like alternative to progressive. It's the alternative, and progressive is it's progressed to the next stage. So
I could see the logic there. Yeah,
that's why progressive comes first, and then maybe there are thematic reasons for that. But honestly, it was just as confusing perhaps as the original show, but maybe absolutely not as deftly made.
Nah, it was the only time I really got vibes, like the same vibes from the original, was the last 2 episodes. Before that, it was slow. Not really. There's like, what I think about Fully Cool, I think of like music is a big thing, and then like this like manic energy that just kept the show going at all times. This is like the complete opposite of that. Like there's definitely like the pillows came back. The new song that they had was pretty good.
The new song.
Yeah, because they had like the closing theme too, but there's only like 2 new songs for this one.
There weren't too many new ones, but they had songs from the several times. The I Think I Can song, or whatever.
I think I can.
It was like, all right, okay.
Yeah, it didn't have the same impact. I mean, I think the show was okay. It didn't really hit the highs of the original.
No. So besides, I mean, there's more talk to come for that, because alternative. I know that the protagonist less memorable than the original, even though she's like some super waifu archetype.
I'm not really sure she was. I think Ide somehow was more of a main character.
Who, the guy?
Yeah, the dude that was like crushing on her.
She seemed like you mentioned, like the headphones represent, because she's wearing like these cat themed headphones. And she wears them the entire time. You mentioned they like represent isolation.
Yeah, I think that's like where they're going for with it. But
reminds me of like The World Ends With.
For sure.
The Neku was wearing the headphones to isolate. Like that was a direct of his character. He tied his big ass headphones into.
Yeah, and I think they were going for like the same thing with her as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, nothing too interesting to talk about there. Attack on Titan came back. We've been watching those episodes. I actually think that the episodes even though they're action packed, they're either kind of so separate or so kind of detached from the rest of the series in a lot of ways. The way I feel about them, at least, that I sort of propose that when we watch them, we only watch them in. Otherwise, I don't think I'll be very satisfied. Like thinking about watching,
skip like every other week or something.
I'm thinking about watching them just one episode at a time. The way that they're kind of, they just seem. I just don't. They may pick up energy. I just don't think I'm interested in doing it. In all honesty,
I guess that makes sense. Like you want like a little bit more substantial of a bite.
Yeah, it's like once you pop, you just can't stop kind of thing. And I don't want to binge it, but I just want to at least have like, something to talk about.
What do you think of the new characters? Like to me, it feels like basically like a brand new show.
Yeah, it's intentional. How many episodes have we seen now? 3, right?
3, yeah.
In the last 2 episodes, like by the end of the 3rd episode, I see a guy there I was like, man, that dude. Oh no.
Yeah, it was
Oh no.
pretty obvious who that dude was.
That's going to be really intense if it is that guy.
I think they're either gonna take it two ways, like with what they're doing. They're either gonna have like the old cast come in and just like slaughter half of this new cast, or they're gonna like re-angle the show so that this cast is like the heroes and those people were the villains the entire time.
I think like I felt like this for a while, but Zeke is one of the most horrific things I've seen done. And like when they reveal that he turned in his mom and dad.
Yep.
And his mom is literally the last hope of their like kind because she's like got the ability to wield the founding titan. And it's just like the fact that he does that, it's so bad. And these people like represent like whatever their race of people are. Like it's just like them kind of captured and enslaved. They're basically slaves to another culture for what they had.
Yeah, they're
done.
like in ghettos basically.
Yeah, so they're basically using them for they're putting children into war scenarios, forcing them to murder, making it, indoctrinating them into thinking it's an honor to do that. It's amazing. It's some of the it's horrifying. Honestly.
This season's been pretty hyped for me. I really like the new direction they're taking it. That's something Attack on Titan's consistently done is they've like reimagined the show several times. Now it's a war show.
Yeah. I'm really I want it to be straight up about I want this to end with Aaron and friends just butchering these people. They've set it up really well, and like Zeke is the most horrifying thing I've ever seen. Even if he like somehow pulls like a closet Snape from Harry Potter where like he was secretly playing a long con to free his people. There's some ends justifies the mean stuff. Like, nah, I think Zeke needs to get what's coming in.
What did you think of the episode we watched last week where they revealed that like basically Reiner's true backstory?
Yeah, Reiner basically it's sort of revealed, like, we've been talking about a bunch of spoilers. Reiner's basically horrified. At some point it reveals that the reason why he wanted to be a hero was because he wanted to get his like dad back, and he wanted his mom to live a life that was better. And so it's they reveal they're only choosing kids to be warriors if they're like fanatical, like they have to be basically the most loyal that you can be. And they're not choosing the best necessarily, they're just choosing the most loyal. And so like Reiner is like really loyal to the Marley country, which is the country that has somehow enslaved the Titan and taken control of these Eldians and put them in these ghettos. And basically Reiner's like really big on, he's like, oh, I'm an honorary Marley and Marlin. Then he runs into his dad. His dad's like, I don't want to be a part of this. And then his friend reveals that he had talked up Reiner, and that the only reason he had talked up Reiner was because he wanted to save his brother from the fate. Are you there?
His brother becomes one anyway, right?
Oh, this is going to be a point. We're going to have to separate this talk into a couple of talks because you're cut out again because there was that drop in time. So we're going to stop here. This will be
you're back?
Yeah.
All right, I'll fix this in editing.
But yeah,
that Marley stuff, right?
Yep, very interesting. I like where they're going. So it seems like they're setting up Reiner for like, I've been like pretty confident they need to murder Reiner and they need to murder Bertolt, because the reason being that like that's just what it is. They deserve it,
Yeah, like what can you do? They're piece of shit.
Oops. They're pieces of doo-doo, and
they kind of murdered a lot of people.
Yeah, Zeke. That's why I said earlier, Zeke is a freaking nightmare. He legit just turned people's family members into these titans. He's just doing it, and he's acting all chill about it. That's the worst part. He's like,
I think one of the coolest things that he did was in like the first episode, they're trying to take over the city. And he's like on like a Zeppelin, right? There's like a bunch of people on the Zeppelin, and they just start like tossing the people out of the Zeppelin. They're like falling, and he turns them into Titans over the city, like Titan bombs.
Yeah, that's a really real crazy.
A cool moment.
It was just a trippy moment to see the bombs. It's just like echoing that warfare image, like they're big on it. And I'm trying to think, like, if this world seems like it probably came from this world. Like, we're looking at like a far future dystopian kind of situation, like a post-apocalyptic and
yeah, they like regress to like World War I era.
What do you call it? You call it a post-apocalyptic or something like that.
Yeah, post-apocalypse.
Yeah, so this is like basically the thing I'm wondering is if basic World War I era stuff is enough to take out Titans, then Titans don't seem that buff. Unless the founding Titan power is just so great that it can like stop like everything else in its track. I don't know. That's pretty OP. You gotta talk.
Yeah, like they talked about it, I think the first episode. They definitely talked about it in the second episode, that basically like the age of Titan warfare is over because technology's caught up to the point where they can just take out Titans. They lost that advantage. Is there anything else you want to say about it?
No. I just hope they murder all those Marleyan people. They're terrible.
Yeah, they I get the feeling they'll either do that or they'll have them kill everyone else. I don't know which way they're gonna take it.
Yeah, I'm rooting for my team though. I'm big on Aaron and friends.
How long do you think it's gonna be before they bring back Levi? Because I need to see my husbando.
Man, I got some thoughts on that. It sort of reminds me of what happened in the final season of Twin Peaks. That's a show that like you sort of need to go check out. And not really on brand for this podcast, but like I think about it a lot, and so they could go a certain route with it.
Well, we have an agreement that me and you are gonna get to that one.
Yeah,
so no spoilers.
Yeah, definitely don't want to mention what I'm thinking. I'm like, well, they could go this route, and because there's an answer to your question, Mike. and it's like one of them answers is it's an interesting answer because I think it answers your question. But it's like you may not like the answer, but I don't think we're gonna get that. So I
didn't like the answer that I got to what happened to Ymir.
I sort of like it. I'm okay with some of that sort of thing because
I thought it was dope, but it was a grim answer.
Here's a question that like I have. It's like, well, what about Annie? It's like that's an entire Titan power. That did they like? Will we see that? Will that?
I'm sure she's still around, dude. They have her like captured.
They couldn't. So I'll tell you, there's no way in hell that they turned Annie. There's no way they're gonna turn Annie. So Annie's either been eaten or she's still in that city as like a crystal.
I think that's the case. Like they don't have that injection to turn people into Titans, so they can't just like have someone become a Titan and eat her.
Yeah, the injection to turn someone into a Titan was kind of a pretty big deal. At least
last season it was.
Yeah, so I don't know if they're just gonna suddenly have another one just sitting around.
Well, things have changed since last season. They've probably infiltrated this country to a degree.
Yeah. They're probably like not messing around. They're like last season, the way I saw it kind of end, it seemed like Eren was pretty hopeless. So if they actually infiltrated this like country, that means they sense they've sucked it up and they've taken the burden, the responsibility, and they're going to war. And that's really kind of intense because that's a huge shift, and I want to know more about that. That's what it actually gets me the most excited, is thinking that that's the case. If they're infiltrated this place already, this is going to be pretty dope. What do you think? Do you think they've infiltrated it?
I think we've seen at least 2 characters that are main characters in previous seasons already, and they're like incognito.
Yeah, maybe we've seen 1. Maybe we've seen 2. It'll just be
for sure 1.
Yeah, for sure. That ending moment was intense. I was just like, oh no, because like I recognize the Japanese voice actor. And
You're like, who is that?
I was,
Like, I noticed the moment you like pricked up when he started talking, and you're like, who is that guy?
I was like, oh no, who is he? Yeah, I was like, oh no.
He's just some like crippled war vet, but nope.
No way, dude. I was like, as soon as I heard that, dude, I was like, oh my goodness.
They had like a dramatic like pan up
Yep.
to like his face,
his eye or whatever. So it's like,
yeah. That's gonna be cool.
I like it.
Hopefully Aaron actually gets to do something, because he's never done any entire show.
He's the whole show. He did it all.
I don't know about that. He's done a whole lot of failing at what he was supposed to do.
He sealed
rocks.
He sealed the gate with a rock.
Yeah, that's about it.
By touching the person who killed his mom, who was Zeke's mom.
His dad's ex.
Yeah, Zeke's mom. Like by touching like the true blood of the founder, he was able to activate the power to let them to escape. So, but I think he's gonna take it back, dude. I think this is a different era now.
Yeah, you can sense it.
Yeah, this mofo is like got his leg probably chopped off to fake it.
Man.
That's really intense.
Was he missing an eye? I couldn't tell.
I don't know, but don't mess with that eye, just in case you can't grow it back, bro.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, cool costume.
Mm-hmm.
He's smart. That's super smart. They don't have any idea that they've infiltrated. If they did, like that's super cool. Their last view is that they're all pacifists, and they're gonna go and try to murder them off because they're pacifists. I don't know. You can make this whole podcast about Attack on Titan. I like it. I'm excited by it. And I want.
The only complaint I have is that they should not have limited this to 16 episodes. Like,
that's a pretty big complaint of mine.
They didn't need to do that. I would have rather, if they wanted to make this the final season, would have rather they just waited until the manga ends at this point.
Do it right.
But like I think I mentioned earlier, I'll probably end up reading the manga after the show ends.
My theory is he wouldn't have agreed to let this be the final, unless he was very confident that he knew exactly how this would end. And I don't think this is like a Game of Thrones situation or a Full Metal Alchemist. I think that we're far closer to the end than either of those situations. So you've got an entire book worth of development in something like Game of Thrones, because George R.R. Martin or whatever, he's still got an entire book that needs to come out.
2 books.
2 books. So so even worse. And they had to try to fill in basically all that to get to an ending. There was never an option for us to get the ending that was the correct ending. That wasn't gonna happen. Especially
for live action, because people age.
Yeah, and so then we've got Full Metal Alchemist, where they had I guess they had an episode order or like a terminal point, or just something where they're just like, well, we can only string this along so far, and we've already kind of gone beyond the actual manga, so we're just gonna end this at this point, And so go ahead.
From my understanding with Full Metal Alchemist, like basically the manga was like so hot when it came out of Japan. They started adapting it like 2 volumes in. And they're like, we gotta get this into anime like ASAP to capitalize on this. And the point that Brotherhood and the original series diverge, like that's a pretty early on point in the manga.
I personally think that we've got what do you call it? We've got not too long left.
In the manga?
Yeah, my understanding from what the creator said, don't Google this because you get spoiled. But my understanding is that it's not too far out until it's the ending.
From what I've heard, just from Googling just now, summer 2021 will be the final chapter.
And that means the anime is gonna be over in like 2 months or something. And the are they gonna do a straight 16 episode run, or are they gonna do like half now, half some other time?
I don't think they've said, but I could see them doing like 8 now, 8 later.
Yeah, if they don't do that, if they don't split it up, then for sure we're going to get something different. But the thing is, it's going to be not too different, which is very odd.
Yeah.
There's not that much.
It'll probably be like some outline stuff that he sent them.
Yeah. Who knows? I don't think we're not in for a Game of Thrones or a Full Metal Alchemist divergence. I think you're right. There'll be some differences, but maybe not maybe not that many, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
I hear that.
yeah. Anyway, that's enough of that.
Have you been watching any other anime lately?
I don't watch anime unless because I end up
hear that.
wanting to watch it. Like I still want to watch that one where there's like they're wearing suits and stuff, but like not suits, but like clothing.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, what was that? It came out some odd years ago, and it was by the Studio Trigger or whatever.
Oh, Kill la Kill.
Yeah, I still want to like watch that one because it's got our boy Sawano. I'm watching that because of Attack on Titan, but I'm watching Attack on Titan because of Sawano. I guess it's just a big loop.
It is a big loop. Well, this year, let's see, we finished Dragon Ball Super finally. Not a whole lot to talk about there because Tournament of Power is, just okay. But we did finish watching Golden Wind. No, Diamond is Unbreakable.
Yeah, we haven't started Golden Wind because we don't want to kill our lives. We don't want to take out the best animes in the world already.
Yeah, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I don't know how they keep doing it, but every arc of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I feel, is better than the previous.
You don't feel that way when you start them.
Nah, I'm like, man, how are they gonna top this? Stardust Crusaders was so hype, and like this Diamond Unbreakable is gonna take place in the same town the whole show. What the heck? And then you just fall in love with the characters. Diamond Unbreakable is probably my favorite season.
Diamond Unbreakable was pretty good. Josuke, super dope.
Okuyasu.
Yeah, super chill guy. That manga artist, whatever his name was.
Shibe.
Rohan
Kashibe.
Yeah. We still have to watch that OVA thing.
Oh yeah, we'll do that after we finish Fooly Cooly.
Thus spoke
Kashibe.
Yeah, Rohan.
Yeah, we'll take that out. We'll come back to it. But I agree, we can't just power through JoJo because there won't be any JoJo left. It'd be depressing.
We also need to we need to watch, what is it called? The OVAs for Attack on Titan.
I forgot about those.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
We're getting so far divorced from that by the time we get to the end of this series, we're gonna be kind of like shocked by how different those OVAs are from like what we're watching now.
We'll come back to them. We'll put them on the list. And then let's see, for 2021, we're also planning on watching Neon Genesis Evangelion since you hadn't seen it. That'll be interesting. I'm very curious to see what your thoughts are on that.
Man, that's gonna be a trip.
Omega 64, they put out a video last week, and I'm glad that you were smart enough to turn it off because it basically spoiled the entire show. How far in did you get?
For what show?
Neon Genesis Evangelion, Mega 64's video on it.
Oh, dude, I watched like 4 or so minutes of that thing.
And you're like, I need to end this now.
Yeah, it was like talking about people's mothers being dead and not being dead, and like friends being killed in other mechs and stuff. And I was like, that's no good.
It was more coherent than their Dragon Ball, say that, which is odd because it's more of a plot-heavy show than Dragon Ball. You think that they'd be able to condense Dragon Ball's plots. But, yeah, that'll be fun.
Manga-wise, like, will we talk about manga right now as well?
Yeah, go for it. Are you reading any manga?
Only Dragon Ball Super.
Oh, yeah. The new arc started.
The Granola, dude. Whatever that's about. Okay.
Yeah, the chapter that came out this month didn't really give us a whole lot to go on, but I'm interested. They got my attention. He's some sort of space pirate. He looks kind of cool.
Yeah, I wonder what he's about. He's going to use the cyborg. Maybe we're in for the cyborg saga.
I could see them using this as like a transition saga, you know?
What's the difference between a cyborg and
cyborgs are people. They
you mean
are like enhanced.
You mean like Android 17 and 18?
Yeah, they're cyborg. The term that they use in the Japanese version is artificial human, but they're cyborg. Whereas like Android 16, he was Android.
That's so and then this guy, what is the name of that robot dude?
OG-73.
It's OG 73.
Mm-hmm.
No way.
It is.
I thought they were just calling him.
Most of the time they just call him 7-3, but his like full name is OG-73.
OG.
He's back. I'm not sure if he's actually back or if he's gonna be like handled. You know.
Like, what are they gonna do with that? Are they gonna like steal his stuff? What are they doing with that? Are they gonna they mass produce his angel power or something is inside of him.
He still probably would have that angel power.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah, like they basically said they took him around and like absorbed a bunch of data, powered him up, and so those aliens that had captured him, they were trying to offload his data into the other 7 or OG.
So like Miras didn't die; he was like faded away before he would die.
Well, I think he like had died, and then Kaioshin, Supreme Kai, he begged the Grand Priest to let him live as a cop.
That was very confusing, but he's around. I wonder, do you think he can go Ultra Instinct still?
From my understanding, no. He like lost his angel powers.
So is going Ultra Instinct an angel power?
It's probably something like that. I could see that. Like Goku,
Why can he go Ultra if he's not an angel?
he had to learn how to do it. Like theoretically, Miras could probably learn some of that, but it's like crossing the threshold into divine or thing. You know what I mean? Like he'd have to work for it. You know. But I wonder if we'll see Miras. Do you think he's gonna be a reoccurring character?
I don't know what a reoccurring character looks like. He'll probably die off so that they can make GT happen.
God, I hope they don't do that.
Did GT have a manga?
No.
Maybe they'll do a retelling of GT. They'll call it GT2.
GT, Super GT.
Would you deal with that, or would you like just quit?
I would not deal with it, but I could see them like rebooting it so that they try and tie it into the canon of Super. You know,
I'll work with it if it's like done well or something. You know what I mean? It's like, for example, like Brawly, the movie that they did was pretty damn badass.
What I could see them doing is maybe not rebooting GT, but borrowing elements of it and turning it into canon, like you said with the Brawly movie. Like I could see them having Super Saiyan 4 come back as like, re-envisioned.
Dude, you wish that they do that, dude.
No, I don't. I hate Super Saiyan.
No,
4.
dude. See, you don't know what you're saying, right? It's here's what you don't get. I understand you don't like Super Saiyan, and you're completely you're as correct or not correct as my concern is that there are far worse fates than Super Saiyan 4 as a canon.
And what's that?
Like you could see them taking and canonizing Super Saiyan 4 by having it be in some strange way, right? I don't think that'll happen, Mike. I think something far worse will.
What's that?
Can you still hear me?
I can still hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got logged off. That's why. It's horrifying. Anyway. Yeah, dude, I could see something far worse happening.
What do you think will happen?
I think that legit Super will end with like tying up all the loose ends, and it's like just leading directly into GT.
I hate to say it, but you know that's probably what they'll do too. And I hope not.
Why wouldn't they do that?
I don't know, dude, but I don't want them to.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like the moment that they have like a saga where time skips past like the end of Dragon Ball Z arc, where there's that time skip there, is like the moment that I'll just breathe a sigh of relief.
Now I'll go out celebrating.
Yeah, we'll have a beer. We'll toast to our boy Beerus. He corrected the timeline.
Yeah, I'm like, you did it. So as you can already tell, we're not fans of...
When we should start being concerned is when suddenly they come up with excuses for Goku and Vegeta to be locked out of Super Saiyan Blue.
And Ultra Instinct.
And Ultra Instinct. They come up with an excuse to have Beerus, like, just leave Goku alone.
It's like you have to make them forget that they ever had any... And you gotta make this, and that. And it's like, oh god, no.
And Goku's no longer friends with Zeno.
Oh god.
And then, okay, like, this is when you should really get concerned, dude, is they have Kai, Supreme Kai, and Kabito fuse again.
That's when it's just filled with nightmares. Everything I'm like, what did I do? What did I watch?
What was this 200 episodes?
All these years watching Dragon Ball Super, reading the manga, being excited like I was watching, like that was going somewhere, you know? Mm-hmm. And it's just kind of, I don't know. I think this is I think we're being tricked. I think this isn't something we should do.
We're like being milked.
Yeah, this isn't, I mean, obviously we are, but I'm just saying I think we're setting ourselves for a bad situation.
Well, hopefully, I have mixed feelings about Toyotaro, but you know, I hope they hand off the reins to him and he like just has fun retconning GT at a certain point.
That's what I'm telling you. I'd rather they just redo GT in a way that like is better. And so like they handle GT like they handle the Brawly movie, where it's like, here's our spin-off.
This is baby Vegeta. This is evil dragons.
They'll do it with a better spin. I don't know. I think I could be okay with it.
I don't know, like, the thing about that, though, is Super Saiyan 4, like, that's something I could see integrating because it's so popular, but I don't think any of the story arcs GT were particularly popular. Brawly, they canonized him because, like, the character himself was pretty popular with fans, but, you know, what we got is definitely not the Brawly from those old movies.
It just sucks, dude. It just sucks to think about. Like, Super Android 17 saga.
Yeah, Super 17 blows, but you know who's chill? Super 17, or 17 from Dragon Ball Super is pretty dope.
They're gonna go and they're gonna kill off 17 after he was this beast? That sucks.
Doesn't he die like a wuss, too?
He dies super wussy, dude.
Because everything in... Frieza. Okay, Frieza's in GT.
He's dead in GT.
Yeah, and he's weak, too.
I would have just went gold. He can go gold in hell. Why can't he go gold right there? And he got wiped out immediately by kids. That doesn't make any sense.
Not at all.
You know what we need to do? Is get like an Excel sheet and compile like all of the evidence that GT has already been retconned.
Well, like the thing about that though is like all the evidence that's there is stuff that could be
But that's the thing. When you start seeing them like untying those, that's when you can be scared. But until then, and then at that point, you just have to be
You're like, oh, here we go.
It's like, whoa, look at him go. It's like, dude, I just watched them take 3 of these items and decanon them.
They're gonna have they're gonna do it in like the last arc too. You know, they'll probably do it in like the last 3 episodes or like 3 chapters or whatever. Like they'll just start rapid fire, just undoing. It'll be hilarious.
It should have been like when Majin Buu had become the Kai dude. He should have been like, yeah, dude, that's just me now. I'm the Kai dude. And then walk off. I'm like, yes. Oh my god. It's just like a pink version of that Kai. And he's just like, yeah, I've been Majin Buu. That's how I exist. It's how you killed Buu and you were able to reincarnate. Also have me. It's like, because I'm the Kai. And I'm like, that's right. That makes sense. I'm like, oh, I like that actually. And then like have Piccolo, I don't know, have something happen with Piccolo at some point. So he's just like, I'm super buff now and I can do all this crazy stuff. Have like, I don't know, just have something happen like to make it so it makes no sense. Android 17 should not get blown up and die fusing with some devil android thing. That doesn't make sense. And then like the lore with the Dragon Balls, does that even work anymore with Super Dragon Balls?
Not really.
I don't even know.
And it never really worked cleanly in the original. Like, the concept was that the Dragon Balls had been used up so many times that they corrupted, right? That's what the Black Star Dragon Balls are.
Yeah.
Problem with that is, like, the Dragon Balls that are in, like, Dragon Ball now, those aren't the same old Dragon Balls. These are, like, new Dragon Balls.
They've been remade multiple times.
Yeah. Like, Dende made these.
Yeah.
So, they didn't even really think about that. Oh, well.
Yeah, we need to compile a list.
We'll do that next time we hang out. We'll make that list.
We're gonna make that list. I need to go and like get it in like a notes app on my phone and just like late at night when I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, what's the evidence? And it's like, okay, even the loose evidence like Super Saiyan Blue, Ultra Instinct, Gohan's back into fighting shape, or he got Mystic back. You know what I mean? Boo has access to the Kai. Like Kai's in there somewhere. I don't know.
Frieza has golden form and he's alive.
Yeah. Exactly. That's big evidence right there.
Let's see.
Beerus and Whis exist.
Beerus and Whis exist, and they're like destiny bound to Supreme Kai.
Kabito Kai is unfused.
Krillin is a cop.
That's right. He shaved his head. He's bald again.
Vegeta doesn't have a mustache.
He didn't have a mustache at the end of Z.
You know what's weird about GT? Like, if you think about it, is his daughter, like, Bulla, right?
Yeah.
Like, she's 11 in GT, but, like, her characterization is kind of creepy.
Like, she's, like, trying to be hot. She's trying to, like, get all see with her clothing and stuff. Like, a little woman kind of thing.
She's, like, if she was in modern times, she'd be on Tinder and stuff.
It's no good, whatever what's going on with it. Saying something about something I want to talk about in this podcast. This is a family-friendly podcast.
It's, yeah, that's definitely something I don't think they thought about. Pan's not even that old. She's younger than Goku was in the original Dragon Ball. She's like 13 in GT.
Yeah. I wonder what they could do. What could they do to just completely, like, what could they do to completely make GT? Like, what can you do in in Dragon Ball that
well, here's like another thing that we didn't even think about. Like Emperor Pilaf, he's old as heck in GT, but he's like a baby in Super.
Yeah, look at that. My legit is supposed to get with Trunks.
Yep, like that's like from the Goku Black Sock foreshadow.
That's evidence right there.
Yep.
I need more evidence. I need to keep track. I need to put this into a sheet. I'm not even typing this up.
The only thing that like they could really do is like start like other than what we talked about earlier, where they introduced concepts from GT, but like just reimagine them. They'd have to have like time for this past. That's the only thing they could do. Like you'd have to have like basically Goten and Trunks like adults, have them not look anything like they were in GT.
That's the only thing they really do, huh?
They gotta move past End of Z, and they gotta start having other storylines that just completely contradict GT stuff. And then we'll be in the clear. You know what they could do? They could have Trunks and Mai get married.
Little Trunks, the kid?
Yeah, well, he's like an adult.
Well, maybe he was married to GT.
Wasn't he like a playboy in like the beginning of GT? He's like the president of Capsule Corp or something. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen GT, but I remember something about like him as he's like a player.
I don't remember. I know. You know who was a player?
Who?
Goten was.
Goten. Okay, you're right.
Yeah, Goten was. Goten was terrible. Plus, Goten, like, he no longer had his. You know, like Goten has like Goku's hair. In GT, he had like the dumbest hairdo.
It was like off to the side or something.
Yeah, but it's like they've already showed like if you're like a Saiyan, half-blood Saiyan thing, your hair doesn't necessarily always stay the same.
Yeah, like Gohan's a pretty good example.
His hair's been 20 different things.
I think the only person who's had more hairstyle changes than him is Bulma.
Who knows? Any other anime or manga kind of things to talk about?
No, that's pretty good. Let's end it here tonight. We'll talk about games next time.
Man, I've been playing that Spoder Man on PS5.
Yeah, that's not the only game you've been playing that I'm sure you want to talk about.
Yeah, I got some words about that, but a lot of them are filled with spoilers. I'm like, oh boy. I wish I had a lot of room in my house and a lot of money, and I wouldn't be judged by my girlfriend, because then I would buy one of those like Nier Automata like statues and be like, wow, to be. Whew.
That's a preview for next time.
Swoon.
To be or not to be is the name of that episode.
The answer is to be.
All right, Weeabuds out.